Congress Working Committee members on Saturday unanimously urged Rahul Gandhi to take the role of leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha, as it also credited his to Bharat Jodo Yatras for the party's performance in the general elections. At a media conference following the meeting of the extended Congress Working Committee, Party General Secretary K.C. Venugopal said that the members unanimously requested Gandhi to take the leader of opposition role. Rahul Gandhi said he would take a decision on it very soon, Venugopal said. This will be the first time that the Congress, since its ouster from power in 2014, will get the post of leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha. It failed to get the position in the past 10 years as its tally was below the requisite 10% of total seats in the House, both in 2014 and 2019. Venugopal also said the party's leaders and workers are charged up and asserted that the CWC sentiment is that the Congress revival has begun. The CWC adopted two resolutions, one hailing the role of Congress chief Mallikarjun Kharge, Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra for the party's performance in the Lok Sabha polls. It also credited the Rahul Gandhi-led Bharat Jodo Yatras for its good performance. The CWC resolution also said the people's verdict was not just a political loss but a personal and moral defeat for Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who had sought a mandate in his name. The Congress has emerged as the second largest party in the Lok Sabha, improving its tally to 99 from 52 in the 2019 elections.
Now the CWC discussed. Basically, the atmosphere in the CWC is entirely different than the atmosphere 4 months before. Our workers are charged, leaders are charged. Now the revival of the Congress party, even after election also, final day the exit poll came. That exit poll, this election is a very, very different fight. We have to fight against exit poll also. 3 days we fight against the exit poll. First evening exit poll come. Our communication department had fight against the exit poll. First, second, third, till fourth. There were several attempts to divert the entire agenda of Congress and India alliance to divisive politics. The BJP government had only one agenda. Narendra Modi led BJP had only one agenda, to divide the people.
Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge on Saturday said the Lok Sabha poll mandate is a decisive rejection of the politics of hate and stressed that the India bloc must continue functioning cohesively both inside and outside Parliament. In his opening remarks at the Congress Working Committee meeting here, Kharge also asserted that while celebrating its revival, the party should pause a little as it did not perform to its abilities and expectations in some states. Separate discussions on each such state will be held soon, he said. People have spoken against the dictatorial and anti-democratic ways of the ruling party. It is a decisive rejection of the politics of the last 10 years. It is rejection of the politics of divisiveness, hate and polarization, Kharge said. Noting that the Congress won both the seats of Manipur, Kharge said the party also won seats in Nagaland, Assam and Meghalaya. In Maharashtra, the party emerged as the single largest party. People from all walks of life supported the Congress party to save the country's democracy and constitution, he said. Other than this, Kharge said the party also saw an increase in seats dominated by scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, other backward classes, and minority voters, as well as seats in rural areas. Kharge also hailed India bloc partners, saying each party played its designated role in different states and each party contributed to the other. Narendra Modi set to take oath as PM for third term on Sunday. Prime Minister-designate Narendra Modi is set to take oath on Sunday for a third straight term, equaling the feat of first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, amid hectic parleys involving BJP leadership and allies over the share of berths of different constituents of the National Democratic Alliance in the new government. Senior BJP leaders such as Union Ministers Amit Shah and Rajnath Singh besides Party President JP Nadda have been consulting the allies, including Telugu Desam Party's N. Chandrababu Naidu, JDU's Nitish Kumar and Shiv Sena's Eknath Shinde, to finalize their share of representation in the government. There is a view that heavyweight portfolios like home, finance, defense, and external affairs, besides education and culture, to ministries with strong ideological views, will be kept by the BJP, while its allies can get anywhere between 5 to 8 cabinet berths. While leaders like Shah and Singh are seen within the party as a certainty in the new cabinet, former chief ministers who have won the Lok Sabha polls like Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Baswaraj Bommai, Manohar Lal Khattar and Sarbananda Sonowal are strong contenders for joining the government. Ram Mohan Naidu of the TDP, Lalan Singh, Sanjay Jha and Ram Nath Thakur of the JDU, and Chirag Paswan of the Lok Janshakti Party are among the allies who may be a part of the new government, the sources said, adding that either Singh or Jha will be accommodated from the JDU quota. Maharashtra, where the BJP Shiv Sena NCP alliance has fared poorly, and Bihar, where the opposition has shown signs of revival, may be in the focus during the government formation exercise. Telangana Chief Minister Revant Reddy on Saturday joined the clamor for Rahul Gandhi to take up the post of the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha even as the Congress deliberated on the general election results at the party's working committee meeting here. Rahul Gandhi has taken the responsibility of fighting for the cause of farmers, women and unemployment for the last 10 years, he asserted. In the election results announced on 4th June, the Congress emerged as the second largest party in the Lok Sabha. This will be the first time that the Congress, since its ouster from power in 2014, will get the post of leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha. It failed to get the position in the past 10 years as its tally was below the requisite 10% of total seats in the House, both in 2014 and 2019. The Congress won 44 seats in 2014 and 52 in 2019. It has won 99 seats this time. Rahul Gandhi won both the Wayanad and Rai Bareli seats in the elections.
140 करोड़ जनता की जो मांग है हमारा भी वही मांग है राहुल गांधी जी हैज़ टू टेक पोजीशन एज ए लीडर ऑफ अपोजिशन क्योंकि ये 10 साल से नरेंद्र मोदी जी सरकार जो किसानों के खिलाफ आवाज़ उठाए बेरोज़गारी में धोखा दिए ऐसे सब सारे जनता को जो धोखा दिए ये सब सारे मौके पे राहुल गांधी जी ने जिम्मेदारी उठाए ये किसानों के लिए बेरोज़गार युवता के लिए महिलाओं के लिए राहुल गांधी लगातार लड़ते रहा है तो इसीलिए आज के तारीख में आप लोगों को कोई
Suspected militants torched a police outpost and set several houses on fire in Manipur's Jiribam district on Saturday, officials said. The militants torched the Jiri police outpost located in Chotubekra area on the banks of the Barak River at around 12:30 am, they said. The gunmen suspected to be Hill-based militants also launched multiple attacks taking advantage of the darkness at Lamtai Khuno, Modhupur area of the district located nearly 220 kilometers from the state capital Imphal. Several houses have been burnt, mostly in the outlying areas of Jiribam district, though the exact number cannot be confirmed. A commando contingent of Manipur police has been airlifted to Jiribam on Saturday morning from Imphal to assist in the security operations against the militants, police said. Nearly 239 people, mostly women and children, have been evacuated from their villages in the Jiribam district and are taking shelter at the sports complex in Jiri town after violence broke out following the killing of a man allegedly by militants, officials said Saturday. On 6 June, the Jiribam district administration had clamped an indefinite curfew in the district following the killing of a 59-year-old man belonging to one community allegedly by militants belonging to another community. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee on Saturday said that the opposition India bloc may not have staked claim to form the government today, but that does not mean it will not do it tomorrow. Banerjee, also the TMC Supremo, said her party will be in a wait-and-watch mode and she would be happy if the weak and unstable BJP-led NDA government is shunted out of power. The country needs change, the country wants change. This mandate was for change. This mandate was against Narendra Modi, so he should not become the Prime Minister this time. Someone else should have been allowed to take over, Banerjee told reporters after a meeting of newly elected TMC MPs. The Trinamool Congress Supremo said the party will not attend the swearing-in ceremony of the new government. The BJP is forming the government undemocratically and illegally. Today, India bloc may not have staked a claim to form the government, but that doesn't mean tomorrow it won't stake a claim. Let's wait for some time, she said. She said that the TMC MPs in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha will seek repeal of the Citizenship Amendment Act. Sonia Gandhi re-elected Congress Parliamentary Party chairperson. Former Congress President Sonia Gandhi was unanimously re-elected as the chairperson of the Congress Parliamentary Party on Saturday, its leaders said. At a meeting of party MPs, Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge proposed Sonia Gandhi's name as the chairperson of the parliamentary party. The proposal was seconded by Gaurav Gogoi, K. Sudhakaran and Tariq Anwar. Gandhi, 77, was elected to the Rajya Sabha in February. Earlier, the Congress Working Committee, CWC, unanimously urged Rahul Gandhi to take on the mantle of the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha, and he told the party's top brass that he will take a decision on it very soon. Veteran media personality and Ramoji Group chairman C.H. Ramoji Rao died at a hospital here early on Saturday. He was 88. Rao, who was admitted to a hospital in Hyderabad on 5 June following respiratory problems, passed away at 4:50 a.m. on Saturday, according to Enadu sources. The mortal remains were shifted to his residence in the famous Ramoji Film City near in Hyderabad. Ramoji Rao, who created a sensation in the media industry in undivided Andhra Pradesh with the Enadu newspaper and ETV group of channels, was a recipient of Padma Vibhushan. Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed grief at the death of Ramoji Rao. Former Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu, TDP Chief N. Chandrababu Naidu, Union Minister G. Kishan Reddy, Telangana Chief Minister A. Revant Reddy, former Telangana CM K. Chandrasekhar Rao and several other leaders condoled the death of Ramoji Rao. Venkaiah Naidu said Ramoji Rao set a new trend in every field he worked. Revant Reddy termed Ramoji Rao's death as a great loss to the Telugu newspaper and media industry. The CM, who is in Delhi to attend CWC meeting, directed State Chief Secretary Santhi Kumari to conduct Ramoji Rao's funeral with official honours, a CMO release said. Telugu superstar Chiranjeevi posted an emotional message on X saying that Ramoji Rao, who is like a mountain that never bowed down to anyone, reached the heavenly abode. Ramoji Rao is survived by wife and a son.
నేను ఒక రకంగా చెప్పాలంటే పరిపక్వత చెందారని నేను భావిస్తూ ఉంటాను. వారు పోరాట యోధుడు, మరింత కాలం పోరాడతాడని చెప్పి నేను భావించాను. వారు ఇంత త్వరగా ఆ పోరాటాన్ని ముగించి అనేక విజయాలు సాధించాడు. ఆయన అనుకున్న వాటిని కూడా సాధించాడు ఈ మధ్యకాలం విజయంతో పాటు. కానీ భగవంతుడు నిర్ణయాన్ని మనం ఎవరూ కూడా కాదన్నదేమో. భగవంతుడి పిలుపును అందుకని పైకి వెళ్ళాడు. వారి ఆత్మకు శాంతి కలగాలని, వారి కుటుంబ సభ్యులందరికీ, ముఖ్యంగా శ్రీ కిరణ్, శ్రీమతి శైలజ, అలాగే శ్రీమతి విజయేశ్వరి, వారి పిల్లలందరికీ కూడా హృదయపూర్వకమైన సంతాపాన్ని నా తరఫున, మా కుటుంబ సభ్యులందరి తరఫున నేను వారికి నివాళులు అర్పిస్తూ ఉన్నాను.
నిన్న చనిపోయే వరకు ఆయనకు ఒకటే కోరిక, నా కోరిక అంతా కూడా నేను అనునిత్యం పనిచేసి పని చేస్తూ పనిలో చనిపోగలిగితే అది నాకు ఆనందంగా ఉంటుంది. అంతేకాదు, నేను చేసే ప్రతి నిమిషం నేను బ్రతుకున్నంత వరకు ప్రజల కోసం పనిచేయాలి, పని చేస్తూనే ఉండాలని చెప్పిన వ్యక్తి రామోజీరావు గారు. కానీ ఈరోజు మనం చూస్తూ ఉంటే ఆయన నిర్మించిన వ్యవస్థలు శాశ్వతం. చిత్ర పరిశ్రమ కూడా ఎనలేని సేవలు అందించాడు రామోజీరావు గారి. ఈరోజు ఈ సంస్థలో పనిచేసే సిబ్బందికి, అదే మరి కుటుంబ సభ్యులందరికీ కూడా నా ప్రగాఢ సానుభూతి తెలియజేస్తున్నా.
Former Minister Panni Venkatramaya Nani alleged that the TDP MLA select who won the election are creating havoc across the state. On Saturday, he along with former Minister Kodali Sri Venkateswara Rao Nani and other leaders from Krishna district spoke to the media about the anarchy that TDP activists are continuing in all parts of the state. In this regard, Nani made some interesting comments against TDP chief N. Chandrababu Naidu. He said that YSRCP leaders are being targeted since the day of counting of votes and the goons belonging to the TDP and Jana Sena party have been going on the rampage. The TDP MLA select are orchestrating these attacks with the support of Naidu, who is influencing the state DGP and the police from discharging their duties. He alleged that the violence in the state has surpassed Bihar and UP, which was instigated by Naidu and his son Lokesh. While the TDP goons run amok, the police remain spectators, they said. They warned that the YSRCP activists can counter the attack with same force if the TDP goons fail to target the party cadre.
తెలుగుదేశం పార్టీ జనసేన పార్టీ రౌడీ మోకలు ఈ రాష్ట్ర వ్యాప్తంగా రెచ్చిపోయి ధ్వంసాలు చేస్తుంటే మారణ హోమం చేస్తుంటే ఏ నియోజకవర్గానికి ఆ నియోజకవర్గం ఎమ్మెల్యేలు గెలిచిన వారు ప్రోత్సహిస్తూ పైనుంచి చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు డీజీపీకి ఎస్పీలకి కేసులు కట్టబాకండి, మా కార్యకర్తలు చేసేటువంటి ధ్వంసాన్ని మీరు విట్నెస్గా చూస్తూ ఉండండి తప్పితే మా వాళ్ళని ఎక్కడ ఆపటానికి వీల్లేదు, మీరు పోలీసు ఉద్యోగం చేయటానికి వీల్లేదు అని చెప్పని వాళ్ళ పోలీసులు చేతులు కట్టి ఈ ధ్వంసరచన చేస్తున్నాడు. ఈ రాష్ట్రానికి గతంలో బీహార్ ఎట్లా ఉండేదో లేదా ఒక ఉత్తరప్రదేశ్ ఎట్లా ఉండేదో ఇవాళ ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ రాష్ట్రాన్ని కూడా ఒక హింసా రాష్ట్రంగా హింసారాజ్యంగా ఆయన తయారు చేస్తున్నటువంటి తండ్రి కొడుకిద్దరు కలిసి చేస్తున్నటువంటి పరిస్థితులు.
Denmark Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen is said to have been left shocked and suffering whiplash after being struck by a man while walking in the center of Copenhagen. The assault took place in a square in the city's old town when a man walked up to the politician and hit her. The attacker was swiftly arrested, but there is no word yet on a motive. European Commission Chief Ursula von der Leyen called it a despicable act, which goes against everything we believe in and fight for in Europe. The attack on another European leader comes less than a month after Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico was shot several times as he greeted supporters. He survived and has since undergone surgery. The attack comes 2 days before Denmark votes in the EU election. Frederiksen, leader of Denmark's Social Democrats, had earlier taken part in a European election event with her party's lead candidate Christel Schaldemose. The Social Democrats are the biggest party in Denmark's coalition government. They still lead the polls, but their support has fallen back considerably in recent months. A large-scale beach cleanup program was organized on World Oceans Day, stretching from Arke Beach to YMCA in the city. The event saw enthusiastic participation from students, research scholars, and staff from Andhra University, alongside scientists and technical staff from premier institutes like NCCR, CMFRI, SIFT, and NEO. NSS volunteers from various colleges also joined hands for the cleanup. Officials from the Greater Vishakhapatnam Municipal Corporation, the Groundwater Department, and the Police Department actively participated in the program. Professor James Stephen, Registrar of Andhra University, officially flagged off the program. He emphasized the critical role oceans play in sustaining life on Earth and the urgent need for their preservation. The theme for this year's World Oceans Day, Planet Ocean. Professor P. Janakiram, head of the Department of Marine Living Resources at Andhra University, spoke about the vastness of oceans, covering over 70% of the planet's surface and generating a significant portion of Earth's oxygen. He underlined their importance as a source of food, medicine, and livelihoods for millions globally. He further elaborated on the crucial role oceans play in regulating climate by absorbing carbon dioxide and heat, making them vital in combating climate change. The Education Ministry has set up a 4-member panel to review the grace marks awarded to more than 1,500 candidates in the NEETUG medical entrance exam, the National Testing Agency announced on Saturday. The move comes amid allegations of inflation of marks leading to 67 candidates sharing first rank in the examination. There have been calls from several quarters for a re-exam alleging that the grace marks awarded to make up for the loss of time at 6 exam centers have led to the inflation of marks and tampered with the chances of other candidates. These centers are from Meghalaya, Bahadurgarh in Haryana, Dantewada and Balod in Chhattisgarh, Surat in Gujarat and Chandigarh. A high-powered committee has been set up to review the results of over 1,500 candidates. The four-member panel headed by a former UPSC chairman will submit its recommendations within a week and the results of these candidates might be revised, NTA Director General Subodh Kumar Singh said at a press conference here. The awarding of grace marks has not impacted the qualifying criteria of the examination and the review of results of the affected candidates will not impact the admission process, he added.
They found that sometime center-wise there is a different time was lost and they should be compensated for the marks, and there was a Supreme Court judgment in 2018 in CLAT case कि if there is a this type of grievance कि time loss होता है तो there is a formula and on that basis compensation can be given. So the committee thought कि this is the way we can address the grievances. So during this grievances, their marks have been increased.
Thank you for watching Swatantra TV English Bulletin. For a complete and comprehensive English news bulletin, please do watch Swatantra TV every day. This is Mahima, signing off. Keep watching Swatantra TV.